First, live, local. This is First Alert Weather Extra.
And this is our First Alert Weather Extra on a First Alert Weather Day. So a lot of first alerting going on. Camila, how are you doing this evening?
Good, yeah, a lot to talk about for sure.
We're actually kind of jazzed about this because this is a little bit different than snow and, snow and ice events.
Oh, way more low key, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, low key. I mean, it can still seriously affect people, but it's just a different feel.
Yes.
So.
It also just feels, I mean, it's also relative to the atmospheric river event, but it doesn't feel as intense and crazy as a snow and ice event.
Yes, folks, only 15 seconds in, we already said atmospheric river.
Well,
and we're going to say Pineapple Express, so we're just going to need to get over that stuff. But we'll explain why, we're going to talk, we got lots to talk about.
Right.
This is our First Alert Weather Extra. We do this most weeknights at 7 p.m. It's an expanded weather show, basically. And basically, we can just sit here and yuck it up about the weather, right? That's kind of the point.
It's kind of fun.
Not waste your time, but, if you're just sitting around home doing nothing and you're like, hey, I'm more interested in more weather stuff instead of just the basic stuff we see on TV.
That's why we're here.
All right, so Camila, we're going to get back to you in a second, okay? And we're going to talk about rain and more rain. Okay, that's one key point here. We're going to do a deep dive into flooding. We'll have some fun. Well, it's not fun, I guess. But the point is we're going to try doing something a little bit different here than we typically do on TV. And hard to find mountain snow. I have a personal interest in that one, sitting there on that ski pass. It's clearly is not going to be used for a long time. So First Alert Weather Days, yes, it's today. Today we had the First Alert Weather Day because we knew that as we got into this evening, the rainfall totals would start adding up. Yes, we've only had a little bit the last few hours. Clearly the commute went on like normal, but it wasn't a real fun day outside. Things get more serious tonight and tomorrow, and we're going to have the lingering effects through Wednesday. That's why we have tomorrow is clearly a very wet day. We're going to have issues tomorrow with flooding in spots. And then Wednesday's kind of the leftover messy stuff. So we'll see about Wednesday's First Alert Day. We think between now and then, when it goes to scattered showers by daybreak on Wednesday, another 2 to 4 inches in the lowlands. Some of us get that 4 inches. Some of us only get the 2 inches. 2 inches is more manageable. Camila's going to go into more detail on the gusty wind that we're seeing out there tonight. And again, Tuesday night. Did you just panic, Camila, when I said that? Like
I did. You said my name, and I panicked a little bit.
She suddenly just jumped out of her seat almost. It's okay, not yet. And then possible flooding coming up. By the way, if you've never seen our podcast, this is pretty much what we do. We just banter and talk about the weather. Possible flooding, mudslides, and a few scatter power outages. That's what these First Alert Days are about. First, you probably noticed it's been so warm. A lot of warm air out there, 56 degrees right now. South wind is gusting to 25. That's not like windstorm, but that's pretty breezy out there. And here are the updated totals. Yeah, so these haven't changed much in the last 3 hours. I think at 5 o'clock we were at 0.90. So we had a 1/10 of an inch of rain in like 3 hours. So clearly the rain has really backed off the last few hours. But we think it'll pick up again. These are totals since midnight. So about a little over a 1/4 inch at Salem. You're saying, what's the big deal? This is light showers in Salem. You are correct. It is not a big deal in Salem for now. And it will not be a big deal at all south of Salem. This is all about from this area northward. Look at Kelso. 1.64 inches today. Scappoose, you're at 1 inch as well. We've got some bigger totals coming up. Olympia, 2.5 inches since midnight. That is some pretty heavy rain. Tillamook, about 2 inches. But you go to the south, nothing to even talk about. Florence, Eugene, Newport, nothing east of the Cascades. Hood River, 1/3 of an inch, no biggie. But I found the wettest spots here. I just did these about a half hour ago. It's up in the mountains, and we knew this is all about the mountains when we talk about Pineapple Express, atmospheric river. It's about the mountains. So 4 inches so far at Swift Creek. This is a notorious wet spot. 2 years ago when we had a really wet early December 2023, I believe this spot had almost 20 inches of rain in just like 4 or 5 days. So that is not too unusual. Ariel, which is a Yale Lake area, southwest Washington, almost 4 inches so far. Huckleberry Ridge, sounds like something tasty, right? But not this evening, about 4 inches of rain. East of Seaside, there's I believe it's Pacific Power has fire weather sensors, out in the woods. This one has picked up about 4 inches of rain, just under 4 inches, and about 3 inches or so up on Mount Hebo in southern Tillamook County. Woo, that is a nice view of quite a fetch of moisture that goes from the Pacific Northwest all the way back to not just north of Hawaii here, all the way back towards, I believe, Midway Island is right about in here, the northwestern edge of the Hawaiian Island chain. And then this actually goes back into the Western Pacific. So not only is it a Pineapple Express because it's coming out of the tropics, you could call it the Mango Express, or I remember late Oregon State climatologist George Taylor, he would sometimes call it the Java Jet, because it goes way out there to the southwest. These weather people have all sorts of names, right? Camilla's just
pretty
laughing.
Cute. Yeah. Cute names.
So we use what's called precipitable water. That's one way we can see the amount of moisture in the atmosphere, the total column of it. You know, if you take a column of moisture, and we assign a color to it for TV purposes, and you can see this atmospheric river this evening is aimed pretty much at Oregon, and this is what we call Pineapple Express because it's warm. All right, this is aimed at us through Wednesday. Notice, though, it kind of waves around a bit. So this is tomorrow morning. It's still mainly across Oregon, so you get a break in Washington. Then it shifts north tomorrow night. Here's 5 p.m. tomorrow, and then up into Washington Wednesday, 10 a.m. That's a slight change from 24 hours ago. We always knew there'd be most of an impact up here to the north, but now it's pretty clear cut that we're out of the deep atmospheric river on Wednesday, and we're back to scattered showers. Although what's left of it is back over us again Thursday morning, but it looks like light showers then as well. So here's another way to look at it. Why did I have this graphic in? Oh yeah, that's right. I want to explain atmospheric river. Lots of graphics. Cramming these all in here. One thing you would think, and from what I just showed you, you'd think, oh, it's up at the jet stream level, right? No, atmospheric rivers are actually quite low. They're in the lowest 10,000 feet of the atmosphere. Okay, they usually come out of the tropics and subtropics, so they're warm. Pretty common occurrence. We have a lot of these in the cool season, but we like to, I at least like to only talk about them when they're significant. I don't like to call every wet system an atmospheric river. I like to reserve it for good reason, just for the big ones, like this one. And again, they're pretty common. You know, California, they need these actually during the cool season to give them most of their annual precipitation. But it's all about the mountains because this doesn't drop actually all that much rain over the ocean. But once it runs into the north-south coast range and the Cascade Range, man, it just squeezes maximum moisture out, and that's where we get the really heavy rainfall totals in those mountains. And sometimes in the past, at least up until 2010 or so, we would either call it a Pineapple Express or just we got a really wet system, or this front's going to sit over us for 2 days and give us a lot of rain. It was first named in the early 1990s. They have always existed, but nobody assigned them a name, just like other scientific discoveries. Nobody had given it a name. And again, if it's warm, we call it a Pineapple Express. Just a little bit more here. There's a lot of moisture in that lowest 10,000 feet. And as I mentioned, it's like a river in the sky here. It runs into the coastal ranges, valley, and then up into the Cascades or the Sierra if it's California. They're pretty narrow channels of moisture. And yeah, every time that moisture hits the mountains, man, it's forced to rise and it just dumps a load of rain. And you can see it even on our radar this evening. Coast Range up here in the Cascades. By the way, it looks like it's starting to pick up again to the north of Portland. That's some pretty solid rain up at Kelso and Longview. And it looks like it'll probably start filling in here in the metro area again the next few hours. Yeah, boy, it just keeps coming here. So a lot of rain. All right, so what do we have next? We do have a flood warning up. We'll take a closer look at the river flood warnings, but about an hour and a half ago, the Weather Service put up kind of a small stream type flood warning for this area of southwest Washington, the foothills of the Cascades and the South Washington Cascades. This is because there's been a lot of heavy rain here. There'll be more if you have a large creek near you, near Battleground, Amboy, up there into the hills above Kalama, and it's flooded before. I pay close attention during the nighttime and tomorrow morning. You may wake up tomorrow morning, there's water everywhere. So, to wrap it up here, steady rain through tomorrow night. Tuesday night, we expect it to be heavy at times tonight. Looks heaviest tonight. So that Tuesday morning commute, really messy. A lot of small rivers and streams will be rising fast later tonight, tomorrow morning, so flooding spots. Afternoon commute, we'll see about the intensity of the rain. For many of us, maybe in the middle of the city might be fine, just some water on roads, we'll see. Here's our latest model forecast. You can see how that band of rain by 3 a.m. looks like it's heaviest over Portland and heading south. Remember I said it's shifting south. And it's still over us at 8 a.m. and it's still there at 5 p.m., but there could be some breaks here and there in the middle of the day. Again, the heaviest rain hitting the Coast Range and the Cascades. There you go, Wednesday morning. Scattered light showers throughout the daytime Wednesday. Gray Wednesday, but warm and just a bit drippy. So I think by Wednesday afternoon, we're probably mainly fine, except for the large rivers that we may still be flooding. Thursday, what's left of that system comes over us, but that's light rain as well. So again, it's all about the next 24, 36 hours. I think by Wednesday morning, we're just into light stuff. Here's our latest model forecast through tomorrow evening. Whew, if we really do get 2.62 inches of rain between now and Tuesday evening's commute, that is going to cause some trouble. And you see more, of course, in the mountains around us. And then it continues on Wednesday up north, but not too much. Maybe only another inch at most beyond that into Thursday. All right, so let's wrap it up with the forecast here then. For the coastline, rainy and breezy. Temperatures in the mid to upper 50s. In the valleys tomorrow, warm day, but tomorrow, as the front shifts to the south tonight and early tomorrow morning, the wind goes calm. We actually stay in the 40s much of tomorrow, but this time tomorrow evening, the south wind comes back, and that's when we get our high temp. So tomorrow you're going to go outside and say it doesn't feel like 58, and it won't. It'll be in the upper 40s. Heavy rain west end of the gorge. This is great weather, if you're careful, of course, to head out and check out the waterfalls in the gorge. They're huge. There's water everywhere. I've hiked in these conditions, and it's neat. Every wall of rocks has water coming down like a shower. Pretty neat stuff. You get soaked, but it's fun. Multnomah Falls, 56. Lighter rain at the east end of the gorge. Mount Hood, be careful the next 2 nights up there. It could be rocks or slides over the road, or a few rock, even like a rock that's only, 12 inches a foot across can really damage your car as you come flying around a corner. So be careful. 48 at Government Camp. And then east of the Cascades for tomorrow, light rain and warm. No first alert day there. The Cascades stopping much of this moisture. So nice weather, actually golfing weather in Bend and Madras. High temps around 60 in mid-December, early to mid-December is pretty good. So our 3-day forecast. We're going to keep that first alert weather day for Wednesday for the lingering effects. For sure not on Thursday. Thursday, just like Wednesday, is a few light showers. 7-day forecast. I don't see any one day that looks dry, but it does look likely dry on Friday. A good chunk of Saturday could be dry before some evening rain. And then there's a little system here. It's relatively weak Saturday night, Sunday morning. There are hints that we get into another wetter pattern again next week, but we're not sure about that. I think the biggie is, look how warm it is. Somewhere, highs every day, low 50s to 60, and lows for the next 3 nights don't even get down to our typical high temperatures. So this is unseasonably warm, unusually warm. So coastal storm update. We like to do this in our first alert, 7 o'clock weather. But for the last 3 weeks, we haven't had much to talk about. We haven't had any real windstorms. Look at just the wind gusts. Camila's going to look at this in more detail, but I just want to go through the big picture. Through Wednesday, do you see any yellow? Almost none. Saturday, yeah, almost none. Okay, there's some storms out there early next week, but we're not getting any strong wind along the coast. Maybe next Monday or Tuesday, but that's pretty weak sauce. All right, and that means no big swell along the coast. I was out there for the king tide Saturday midday. Yeah, the water was really high, but the waves weren't that big. And look how low the waves are through this coming weekend. It should be another weekend with pretty quiet waves. Excuse me. So, lowland snow, do we see that coming up? Nope. Nope, folks, we're in this warm stuff through the foreseeable future, at least through December 18th, which is going to take us towards that last weekend before Christmas, all right? So I'm not saying no snow for Christmas. It's always unlikely, but I am saying that we just do not see a cold pattern. I don't see any snow below 3,000 feet the next 10 days. Unlikely for windstorm, but we're going to get these gusts. Camila's going to cover that in a second, maybe soon. And then widespread flooding. Well, yes, we have that in the next 24, 36 hours. We're watching later next week as well. What do I have next here? Oh, yeah, quick look at the Cascades. There's nothing happening up there except a whole bunch of rain. That's the bad news. I don't see any great snow. Look at the temperature up there at Ski Bowl, 46 at the base. It's raining even up at 5,000 feet. And the snow level's crazy high. Look at that, timberline or higher. This is like what we'd see in, September, October, or maybe April. So make sure you download the First Alert Weather app. Okay, you don't want to forget that. Camila, I didn't forget you yet. I just want to promote the First Alert Weather app. We're going to do some river flooding in just a minute. So we're going to do that now? Oh, yeah, let's do it. Okay, here we go. We're ready to go. She's driving. Okay, so this will be fun. If we have an argument like a family, it's a family thing. It'll be fine. Okay, so what we're going to do, this is just the River Forecast Center page. And let's check out some rivers. So let's do some coastal ones. That's in the Halem, is that right?
Uh-huh.
I can't. Okay, there we go. So, maybe I should have worn my glasses for this one because, yeah, so the Halem River does not have a flood warning. But you can see these are just the current level here. You know what? I can't read that because I should have brought my glasses. But you can see it's starting to
12.4.
Yeah, starting to go up. Flood stage is 20, right? Nehalem?
Flood stage.
Right there? Oh, right
15
there?
feet.
Oh, okay. Oh, so I'm sorry. So it may go above flood stage.
Yes.
This is minor flood stage. I was reading it wrong. That's moderate flood stage is 20. So we'll see about. There is no flood warning for the Nehalem River, but one may come up. So that's the forecast coming up here. Okay. What else? Wilson River. We do have a flood warning for the Wilson River. So far, let's check it out. Oh, that's a Trask River. That works. That's fine. Boy, look at the jump here.
Wilson. Sorry.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
You can see the big jump here in the last few hours. What is that one there? I'm gonna get close. I'm gonna have to get closer.
This is the Wilson.
Oh, it's at 12 feet there. That's the Wilson River.
And it's forecast to almost 15 feet.
Yeah. What's the record for the Wilson?
Flood stage
is it 22?
12.
It's down there on the left, right?
Let's scroll down. Let's see if they have the record here. Oh, usually they have it down here.
Yeah, way at the bottom. Is it not there?
I don't see it.
Oh, maybe it's not there.
Major, yeah, there you can see the difference.
Wilson River, I think in 2006 it was it 18 or 20? It was crazy high. So anyway, so this is good. So these coastal rivers tend to go up really fast and they come back down. So we got a flood warning for the Wilson River, Trask River, which Camila just went over. Those are minor flood warnings. We got 2 more that are a little more significant up in Washington. How about those, Camila?
Yeah.
We don't want to forget the folks in Naselle and the Grays River. Really pretty area. I drove through that in, why did I drive over there? There was some reason, I want to see what Highway 4 was like from Astoria over to Longview. Boy, that's a lot longer drive than going across Clatskanie. All right, so that one, notice the 2 peaks. That's pretty interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what do we have there?
Goes back down Tuesday, kind of afternoon, and then back up by Wednesday morning.
Right, because we have the rain is heading out of Southwest
north.
Washington tonight, later tonight. There's a break tomorrow, then it comes back tomorrow night and into Wednesday morning. So there's maybe 2 peaks on the Grays River. That drains the Willapa Hills, Huckleberry Ridge. Some of that water must head down that direction. But yeah, so that could be major flooding. It's right kind of on the line there between moderate and major, right?
Yeah. Let's see if this one has a record just for fun. Doesn't
Is there a record on that one? See, folks, when we're not on TV, we can just gab as long as we want. This is kind of nice.
No. Should we check
skip
the other one?
Yeah, Naselle. Let's do Naselle. You had that almost had a tornado. Remember, a month and a half ago, we were tracking a tornado in that area. That was pretty exciting, but there was not one. Oh, big jump here the last few hours. Ooh, it's going up.
14.5 almost.
Yeah.
Forecast to crest at 16.6.
Okay.
So it's just under major flood stage right there.
Okay. Then a drop, it'll try to come back. These are not perfect, by the way. This is modeling. Weather Service and the River Forecast Centers, Northwest River Forecast Center, they have, just like we have models for weather, they have models with all the river basins. And they have to estimate how much rain is going to fall and how quickly that'll move into, you know, the creeks and streams. So it's not a perfect science by any means, but usually they do pretty well here. That's interesting.
Record for this one is 20 feet, by the way.
20 feet. And what is that? Is that 17?
This is 16.6 at its
so 4
max.
feet off the record.
Yeah.
Oh, the record's right there. Why weren't we just looking there?
Well, I don't think the other ones had it.
Oh, yeah, some of them don't.
Let's see.
Does the Grays have the record?
No. See?
Yeah. Sometimes they don't have the
All
record.
different.
Some of these have, some of these rivers were gauged like after 1996, after some big floods. They added the gauges so the records don't go back very far. Okay, I think we have, oh yeah, Johnson Creek. So that's the one, it's not a river, it's a large stream. But that's one, if you've lived here long, you know, like, oh, it's going to flood at Johnson Creek, right? So, and there's been lots of mitigation over the years. You can see even how quickly it went up just a couple days ago with the rain. So starting to rise. We haven't had too heavy a rain yet. Weather Service thinks overnight tonight and into tomorrow. Look at that jump. What is it right now, Camila?
Right now it is at about 5.4.
Oh, okay.
And it's forecast to rise to almost 12 feet.
It's a 7-foot rise. It's so big jump by tomorrow morning's commute and midday. And that they're thinking maybe midday tomorrow. Is that correct?
Yeah, this says 10 a.m. at the peak.
Mark, wear your glasses next time we look at these little teeny
No,
tiny
this
numbers.
is more fun.
Well, actually, that gets you involved. That's good. Then kind of a trail off.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we got the Pudding River. Notice what's different about the Pudding. Slow rise and slow fall. I grew up down at Mount Angel, at least for part of my growing up years, and man, that river just slowly goes, it just meanders all over, fills farm fields, and then all the water has to slowly go back in. Pudding River, we can be sunny for 3 days and the Pudding River will still have a flood warning.
Isn't that interesting?
It sounds kind of chocolatey and pleasant though, doesn't it?
It
the Pudding River?
does.
It looks kind of like that as well.
Yeah,
What's
so
the
this
peak
one's
there?
not forecast to peak at 22.3, which is minor flood stage, until Thursday afternoon.
Yeah.
And then it slowly comes back down.
Slow fall.
Oops, I didn't mean to do
Okay.
that.
And then what else? Oh, we have one up here. What is it? Oh,
Clackamas.
Clackamas. Clackamas does not, Pudding does have a flood warning. Clackamas does not. Kind of getting up there.
Yeah.
There we go, that's
Clackamas is
us,
forecast to be in the action stage.
They put up a flood warning when it actually gets to minor flood stage.
Right.
That's a Clackamas. Tualatin, same thing. Notice, go ahead.
No, that's all.
I was going to say that, notice that curve there on the Tualatin too, very smooth, because it comes out of Hague Lake. So they have some control over the amount of water that goes. This is at Farmington, so this is between, this would be past Hillsborough, after it passes Hillsborough before it gets to Lake Oswego and Tigard. So, and then Sandy is a flashy river in that it goes up and down quickly. And this has been a big issue in the past if we get huge rain or snow melt on Mount Hood. This time we don't have snow melt because there's almost no snow on the ground. But it's for right now, where is it? This is at Bull Run too. This is not down at Troutdale.
Yeah, just under 14 feet observed.
Okay.
And it's thinking maybe action stage by Wednesday early morning, 18 feet.
So 4 feet, up 4 feet, and then slow drop off. So as of now, there's no flood warning for the Sandy River, but we'll be watching that one. The Sandy River, oh, the record there, 22 feet, wow. And in the past, was it 2011 or 2019? Well, I believe Sandy River, I brought this one up, it shows this one because This may be the highest on the Sandy we've seen since, I think, since 2015. What is this number here, 16?
The peak here,
Yeah.
18.16.
If it were to get that high, they'd be higher than what we had, I believe, in 2015. So, or 2015. So either way, there's a pretty huge amount of water that's going to be flowing down the Sandy River. You do not want to be near any of these rivers. And then you're thinking, how come you haven't talked about the Willamette River? That's why. We call these teacup diagrams from the Army Corps of Engineers. Look at all these reservoirs. There's almost no water. Can we go to, if you touch the little dam there at Detroit Lake, right there, Camilla. See where I'm pointing?
Right here?
Yeah. Right there. Yeah, no, you had it. We're at the little dam.
Oh, right here.
No, no, this one. Yeah,
right here.
There, yeah. It tells
it.
you what's coming in and what's going out. We'll have to do this again tomorrow because there'll be a ton coming in. But if, so go down, I mean like that way. Yeah, keep going. Okay, all the way to the yearly curve.
Oh.
There.
There you go.
There we go. So this just shows, this is this year. I believe it's red here, shows what they try to keep it at very low all through the winter. And then filling season begins on February 1st. We go a little higher, we can see the dates. There we go. So January. Filling season begins about February 1st. They try to fill it, and they want to keep it full, but sometimes that doesn't work out. This is what actually happened. Starts to drop off during the summer, right? And then they want them empty at their winter low by about this time of year. So how many feet is this? Is it 1450 right now?
1450 is this line that you see the cursor
so
on.
About 1450 is a summer is a winter minimum. The summer, isn't it 1560 something?
Yes, right over 1560.
Yeah. So there's about 100 feet of that reservoir, and I saw one of the forecasts. I think I saw a forecast where it was maybe they'll gain 50 feet or something over the next few days. So the point is, by having these reservoirs empty, that's the whole point of the flood control. All right, so the Willamette is not forecast to get anywhere near flood stage, so we don't have to worry about that. So that's good news there. Okay, I think do I have one more thing, and then Camilla, you're going to talk about wind.
Sure am.
Did I just reach the end of my graphics?
I told you to have some buffer
folks.
graphics in there.
I did want to mention the wind here. I'm sorry, the temperature is really warm. Yesterday we hit 59, almost hit 60. I believe yesterday morning and maybe this morning we may have had a record low temperature, either tied or broke a record warm low temperature, so good stuff there. Okay, Camilla, so we got the southerly breezes. You were just outside. You said it's breezy. It's not crazy, but it's pretty windy, right?
Yeah, it's pretty windy. Yeah, the rain seemed fairly light right now in Beaverton. We can feel those gusts kind of starting to pick up.
Yeah.
So let's go over our wind headlines. There is a wind advisory in effect for all these areas you see in that kind of tan color. This goes through tomorrow morning. Sustained winds, 15 to 25, gusts 35 to 45. Going to be more significant if you're up at a higher elevation or along the coast. In the Portland metro area, I'll show you some gusts here in a moment, but we've seen peaking gusts around 30-ish, 40-ish up on some of the bridges. So here's a look at wind conditions right now. So you can see Portland, Salem, gusts around 25 miles per hour, gusts more in that 35 to 40 mile per hour range along the coast. You can see Tillamook and Newport highlighted there. And then, of course, not as big of a deal as you head east of the Cascades. This is mostly through and west of the Cascades. So I just grabbed a handful of different peak gusts today. Portland Airport, 31. So, you know, not super impressive. Yeah, we've seen much stronger gusts. Low 40s for the Fremont Bridge and the Chehalem Mountains over by Newburgh, which we had a little tiff about earlier, Mark and I, right? He was like, isn't that Chehalem? Yeah, I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure it's a small mountain range, so it'd be mountains. And I was right.
The map says so, so we'll go with it.
And then Astoria-Megler at a 62 mile per hour gust. And then, of course, you can see the juiciest stuff is up in the Cascades. Look at that 90 mile per hour gust at Magic Mile, Timberline. That's decent stuff, Mark. How does that compare to other times of year, I guess?
It's just extra breezy.
Yeah.
That said, you're going to be like, what? Are you minimizing a 90 mile per hour gust up a Timberline ski area? Here's the deal. Those last two, Cascade Express and Magic Mile, they're usually encased in ice. They don't work during our real storms.
That's true.
Almost always at 7,000 feet. It's frozen in. I mean, they just can't keep those heated in those conditions. So almost any winter storm probably gusted 90 or so. I think it was yesterday or the day before it gusted to 90 on that same center at Magic Mile. And then 2 days ago, yeah, I think it was Friday or Saturday, it gusted to 103. Oh. So I guarantee we're going to have a gust of like 105, 110, 112 in the next 24 hours up there.
Sure.
Because it's exposed to regular rain.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, of course, with these stronger gusts, we are concerned about some scattered outages with that southwest wind. We talked about the gusts a little bit, much higher in the mountains, as you saw. But, you know, even a 25 to 35 mile per hour gust could do a little bit of damage in the valleys or in the foothills. When you have that saturated soil, much easier for those trees to fall down after you've had many, many days of rain just kind of piling up. All right, let's see what else we got here. Okay, yeah, let's take a look at the timing here. So certainly tonight, you can kind of see there's a little bit of a peak. I mean, you can't see before 9 p.m., but, you know, maybe 30-ish mile per hour gusts in Astoria. Really goes calm Tuesday. Yeah. You can see that very clearly here. And then there's another peak with stronger winds starting, it looks like, around dinner time on Tuesday, around that kind of evening commute time. Let's take a look at
that was pretty neat. That's a stationary front as it moves south of your location. It'll happen in the metro area later tonight. It just, oh, there you go.
Yes.
Sorry.
No.
Look at the direction shift, too.
This is great. Yeah, so you can see how it kind of changes as, yeah, exactly, as Mark said, is where that front is. So in Portland, a similar pattern to what we saw in Astoria. Gusty, I would say, overnight tonight for sure, but pretty calm throughout the day tomorrow until we get to the afternoon and evening hours, and then you'll feel it picking up once again. So kind of cool to see it like that. And then Mark showed this earlier, but just you can really see where the strongest gusts are at the higher elevations there because they show up in the red-orange color. So this is tonight. Again, overnight, very strong in the Cascades. You can see how then it kind of shifts northward a little bit. Still very strong in the Cascades early Wednesday morning, but also the Washington Cascades getting more of the gustier stuff, especially as you head into Wednesday night and Thursday morning. So that's all I got. There you go.
That was good stuff.
Interesting stuff, huh?
We got some good meteorological stuff going here.
I think so.
And here's a view at Seaside right now. It's
it's wet.
It's pouring. We're looking into the rain. I was just at Seaside, the Festival of Trees, which was great fun, raised money for a good cause. But yeah, but then the Canakim River there outside of Seaside is going to be a mess tomorrow morning, I'm guessing. But yep, it's rainy. We come right back to it's going to rain a whole bunch. Okay. It's
been raining. It's going to keep raining.
It's going to keep raining. I think we covered it all. It is 7:30 in 1/2 hour right here on our Fox 12 streaming app. We've got the 8 o'clock news. Camila, you're going to be doing that while I feed food into my face.
Great.
And then I'll be back. You'll be on the 9 o'clock news. I'll be on the 10 o'clock news. You'll do the 11. And we'll be back here tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Remind me to bring my glasses in if we're going to do flood stuff again.
That's a good call.
Read any numbers. I need a bigger monitor there as well. So thanks for joining us, folks. We will see you tomorrow night at 7 o'clock on First Alert Weather Extra. Thanks, Camila.